Arch Manning out of Texas? So Quinn Ewers, that news just dropped that he was coming back, which makes total sense after missing a little bit this year, a little bit last year. Hasn't had a full season under his belt. You got to think that draft stock isn't as high as he probably was hoping that it would be. And I think it's smart that he's staying. I think I just don't feel like we've got a full, good showing of what he's able to do. And I think, opportunity to go play in the SEC next year. Texas is really finding a rhythm. How would you not want to play for that football team? But Malik Murphy also, I don't see him being at Texas next year either. He may be on the move. There's going to be a lot of quarterbacks, in my opinion, that are going to be on the move. You got Malik Murphy. Now talks of Arch Manning. I believe Gunnar Stockton and the other quarterback out of Georgia are also going to be on the move if Carson Beck were to stay, which I imagine that happened. But Arch, the talk is, look, I'm not making this up. This was something that got brought up, and then it was brought up even more so once the news of Quinn Ewers came out. And I'm kind of starting to ask a question, like, I don't think he leaves, personally, because I would believe you went to Texas knowing what you were getting yourself into. But more noise again got brought up when the fact that Malik Murphy, when he played just the other day and they were up by a lot, they didn't put Arch in. Now I give it to the fact that Malik Murphy that was his first game to play. He needs the reps. He's not in a position to take a seat, right? He is the backup quarterback in a way. Allow him to understand what's going on, and it's a good practice opportunity for him. And then the other part of it is maybe Arch is further behind, which we're kind of claiming at the beginning of this season or beginning of this recruiting cycle, that never really played anybody. Played at a very small school in Louisiana, played against 3-year-olds, never went to any camps. I can't remember who it was, but a big recruiting guy came out and said if he didn't have Manning in his last name, he'd be a 3-star quarterback. All of these things. But a lot of destinations are coming out. LSU, go back home. Ole Miss. Auburn was another opportunity. So all those look Ole Miss has 14 quarterbacks. I don't know how you go there, but Auburn makes a little bit of sense, right? For what we were just talking about, what they've been doing. LSU makes sense with Jaden Daniels. Obviously, he'll be leaving. I don't know. Does he leave, Steve?
The patience level for any college player at this point in the way the NIL and the transfer portal has worked, it seems to have become like that of a sand flea. It doesn't exist. It's very small. The window of opportunity for these guys to get in there and be able to show their talent also seems like it's gotten smaller. So look, this is a situation where there's enough talent ahead of him to where he had to have felt good about one of two things: either the money he was getting for having the last name coming from Texas money, or two, that he thought his talent was going to be enough to push him to the front of the pack and to get him on the field sooner rather than later. I don't think that, like, to your point, we've seen really what Quinn Ewers can do on a consistent basis. He's had some injury issues, which again could very well be what keeps Arch there, or it could also be what keeps Ewers from going to the NFL, which Arch is going to have to ask himself, is this the right place for me? I think if Ewers comes out next year, plays a full year, he's likely gone to the NFL, and I think Arch sticks around. This year, I think Arch sticks. He's got a red shirt. He can take that red shirt this year. He's still a freshman. So I think this year he sticks. We got to see kind of how the cards fall next year. I think Malik is probably more likely to leave than Arch.
Malik 100% is gone if Quinn stays, for sure. Dave?
Yeah, I think the same thing. Like, I think he'll stay at least one more year to feel it out while Quinn Ewers is there, and then probably maybe make a decision next year. I mean, that was kind of my feeling when I heard the whole news story of like him returning and all that. But I don't blame him for returning. I mean, like, I would. It's not like he's had a bad year, but I think he could do a lot better. So I think it bodes well for him to return one more year. And I'm pretty sure Arch probably knows he's probably the next man up anyway. So I think he does not care right now.
And think about this class that's coming out. You got Bo Nix, Drake May, Michael Penix,
he's got a lot of talent, yeah.
Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels. I mean, there's 5 guys ahead of you already. And I'm sure there's guys that I'm not even thinking of that are going to be ahead of him as well. So the other thing for Arch is, like, look, redshirt this year. Have a full year next year. You'll come in and you'll be like the Malik Murphy was this year. Step in when needed, step in slow games, which scares me. Think about this. 2025, Arch, a third-year Arch Manning, and that Texas team recruiting in the SEC. So that, to me, is an easy picture to sell to Arch Manning if I'm Sarkisian. If you can't sell that dream, if, like, you're going to be him in 2025, this is going to be your team, and we're going to be as healthy and as thick as we could possibly be. We're going to have 3 monster recruiting class behind you, just wait. Just wait.
Yeah.
I don't think he has the desire. I don't feel like the money's never been a thing. I think he truly cares to play at Texas. He doesn't, I feel like the media creates these stories. I don't think Arch gives two shits. He just needs to make sure he doesn't lose any more of his hall passes when walking around campus.